GRG works in 3 districts in northern Uganda: Gulu, Lamwo, and Amuru districts. And those ones have been selected because they're some of the most affected by the war, but also the most underserved. I think we're actually a little bit unique as an organization in that it's the community that selects the activity. So as I said, we have those 5 areas where we work, but we don't roll out a complete package to every group in the same way. Rather, we engage the groups every 2 years to have them sit down and talk about what the problems in their community are, what's the solutions that they want to develop and design, and then we partner with them. So if they say maybe income generation is a huge problem, okay, what do you want to do about that? Well, we want to try farming and maybe specifically beekeeping. So that's how beekeeping actually comes into our organization, is it's demand driven. Ultimately, our main focus isn't actually that they make so much money out of the activities. That's their focus. Our focus is that they work together, because we believe that practically by weeding in the garden together, or going out to check on your beehives, or just meeting every week for your savings club meeting, that opportunity of bringing them together is where reconciliation, forgiveness, and building a united community can come out again. One of our best groups, they save almost, must be close to $4,000 US a year among their members. Their group has grown. They were originally about 30 members. They grew to 60 and the group divided and split into 2. The one group, unfortunately, has had more problems after the divide, but the other group, it's now risen up to 80 members again. When they do group farming, the women who are disabled or too elderly to do work take care of the children, so all the other people who are able go and work together. And they're extremely united, they're very committed, and they're leaders in their community. They've in fact opened up their savings and loan group to now become like a savings cooperative, and other people not even in the group can come and take loans from them. So that's the best group. Our least effective group, we try and go and meet them, and like 3 people show up to meet us. We ask them, how are the animals you got? They're all dead. We ask them, how did it go when you planted the seed in the garden? They sort of hum and haw and look at their feet, and eventually they tell us, you know what, we never even planted that seed. So where's the seed now? It got left in the rain and it got spoiled.
So the war ended in northern Uganda, as you know, nearly a decade ago, and since then, in the last few years, a number of NGOs have pulled out. Why is GRG still in northern Uganda? Why is GRG still needed in northern Uganda?
Yeah, it's a great question, and it's something that we also ask ourselves a lot, because we still do see a lot of dependency in our groups, and sometimes the groups want us to just give them things. They're not that interested in really working on a project or meeting with us regularly. They would rather we just gave them animals and walked away. But that syndrome or that mentality has come out of people who spent almost 15 years, some of them, in IDP camps where they couldn't go and farm. There was no opportunity for them to provide for themselves and their families, and they were reliant on international handouts. So that transition, as you say, the war's been over for almost a decade. Almost all of the camps have been closed for now 6 or 7 years. But a lot of the problems have followed people from the camps back home. So alcohol abuse remains a huge problem. Domestic violence is rampant in many of the places where we work. And unfortunately, people still do suffer from the traumas of war, whether it's nightmares, whether it's flashbacks, whether it's people in the community that still point out and identify people, you were in the LRA, or when we were in the camp, you were stealing things from my family, or my daughter was raped by your son. There's a lot of those divides that are still there, and the war went on for over 20 years. I think the need for innovative projects to go on in northern Uganda, and especially projects led and directed by northern Ugandans, that's going to need to go on for probably another 50 years at least.